seen come out of this. You know, we've seen Deja Vu from Singapore. He was pretty solid. We've seen Tommy. We've seen Johnny Boy from Argentina. These are some solid up-and-coming players. Even on the Swedish side, Slap. Like, I'd never heard of this guy before we went into the qualifying side of this. So, and even through the qualifiers, he wasn't one that played it. So
yeah. I mean, that's exactly it, right? We've seen talent come out of it, but now we're about to go into it. This, of course, being the knife round to decide the sides here. But in this map, again, so now that they're kind of in the action, all kind of muted mic up, Argentina, we mentioned, of course, how Soich on the desk had pulled out that piece of paper, and Argentina had their predictions. Now, it wasn't necessarily the exact same, because they had actually banned Nuke as opposed to Overpass. And that changes things up. But one of the maps that they had expected to see was Cash. And they expected to see Cash because they have spent time actually counter-stratting Sweden. Yes. Again, these are a group of guys who have the team play on their favor, something that a lot of these other teams don't actually have in their advantage. So if Argentina come into this one with some tactical plays, with some quite clearly counter-strats to Sweden, it's not going to be a fluke. These are planned experiences, and Argentina are prepared to play this map. They knew, of course, that Mirage was going to come in, because that was going to be the pick of Sweden. And because of that, they were expecting potentially the third series. I think this is the perfect map for this to play out.
Yeah, I mean, their flags are the same. It's just different colors. So
Europe, eh?
Yeah, spamming through the smoke. It's a retake on A strategy here, and Adder's able to chime in with one, and that's a nice play from him. We are going to see Argentina finally bombard in towards this site. You've got two players towards A main, and actually I like this positioning from Tommy. He's going to get a lot of information, and that's going to be Slap going down. We missed the frag, but we knew exactly what was going to happen. Tommy up on high on boost. He's going to be able to find Slap. And now that bomb being planted, ticking away, it's going to be difficult. But Adder is going to be able to chime in with a second. Flashbangs come around. Straka, he's holding the fort down at the quad boxes. But the big thing is he's now dead. And that bomb is not planted for these A main guys. So they have to brute force their way back out. And it's going to have to be all on Tommy to sweep around the back lines. He's going to find one. The kid was on the board, but Argentina steal it away. 4 frags on the round for Tommy. And that is going to be Argentina picking up the pistol round in map number 3. A big round.
Look at that, the energy again. That's what they needed, just to kind of remind them, of course, that they are in it to win it. They've taken the loss, but it's behind them. It's a tied series 1-1, and this is essentially an isolated best-of-1 to now play. They've been able to take so many BO1s to the 30th round, and they have, of course, been able to prove that they can come out victorious. So looking to convert the point off of this one, it's going to be 4 rifles with an MP7 to boot, NBL on that limitation, Delpan on the solo scout, trying to go for these jump shots, but to no avail. He's dropped down, of course, to 58 points of health, and Argentina now with a nice bit of mid-presence.
Yeah, remember, they did change the jumping scout, so it's not as effective as it used to be. If it was, he probably would have landed one of those 2 shots, but fortunately for him, there's the stack. I love that play, though. It's something that's not utilized as often as you would think. The smoke that's not necessarily deep in towards Z connector is going to allow those CTs to boost up behind it and one-way the top of it. You see all players do that. I've seen Skadoodle from Cloud9 do it. I've seen Kenny S do it. You know, these are you know, big-time names and stuff like that, but you see that strategy come out, and it's so effective, and you see how it nets them the opening pick on the round, and now that's going to bottleneck Argentina into going for this B execute, and that nade is going to hurt Tutanen. He's going to be down to 59, but Johnny Boy hits a ripper, takes down Madig, so Zealous finds one, comes out, not able to connect, and it's going to be Zealous again from the backline. Zealous doing work. Adder's going to be able to find another. It's down to Straka in a 1 versus 2, no bomb plant. Only a Galil to work with.
Versus the scout and the deagle here of Sweden. Now he's going to be able to get himself with that bomb, so at the very least Argentina have cushioned their bye, but they still have to face a potential reset as Straka's just dancing around these boxes trying to find the angle, and as the player up close, Delpan grabs his attention. It's Adder who's able to find the headshot, and again, it is Argentina reset after finding the pistol.
And they salvaged an AK and a Galil out of that round too, so big round from Sweden. They get their first round on the board. It comes on that anti-eco round. That's something, you know, if you've ever listened to YNK or Yenko do his analysis, that's one of the things he always stresses is the importance of solid anti-eco round strategies. You can't afford to be reset that early in the round, because that basically means that winning the pistol round was all in vain. It doesn't hold any merit moving forward, because now Sweden is going to get an opportunity to get a 2-1 scoreline on Argentina. You can see it's going to be a relatively vanilla buy, a couple of upgraded pistols, even MBLs just on a Glock. So a difficult spot to say the least. Johnny Boy.
All right, coming to fight
big
here.
Slap.
Johnny with the Deeg. opens things up here towards mid. So Slap already out of the equation here. Argentina with that man advantage. From here, they have to make sure that they don't give up what they've gained for absolutely free. So Zelos being inside of the checkers, setting this bit of a crossfire with Maytig, and now, of course, still Argentina inching their way forward, slowly but surely. Shaka going to be taking damage. Johnny in the very same boat, not returning it back to Sweden, however, does put them in a difficult spot. Zelos' frag as well, going to be thrown out, and still Argentina. They've got the time to play with, so there's no rush anywhere here.
Yeah, you can see they're just taking these cheeky peeks. They're just trying to find a little bit of intel, a little bit of damage. And they've tagged up Defiand. He's going to be down to 65. 2 players on the Argentinian side are going to be down below 50, but if they go for this mid presence, my God, they might just be able to overrun Defiand by catbox. This is going to be so scary for him. There's the jump up, there's the tag, he's down to 16. If they push on this, they could find the kill. And there you go, they will. So it's going to be a 2-man advantage now for Argentina, but from the back checker box, it's going to be Zealous. He's dinked and taken down. Tutinen's going to be able to find that frag, and now it's a 2-man advantage again. Going into the B-bomb site, not able to land the spray is Maytig. He's going to get swarmed on. He should be going down any second now, but they don't push. It's going to be back into a 2v2, and the flank comes out, so Sweden back in control. Tommy finally answers back into 1v1.
I mean, Tommy's been at least being able to grab this Galil, and he's been out, put the bomb down, so it's a 1v1, as you said, between Adder and Tommy. 2 frags already for Tommy, but he's going to need this third. And slowly but surely, it's going to be Adder to start pushing up here.
Oh, this position is so strong, though. I think he realizes that he does spot it out. Tommy's going to finish it off. Tommy gun, baby. 3 frags on the round, and Argentina strike back. And that was an armorless pistol buy from them, so
that's exactly
anything
it. Yeah.
you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, you're right. It's an armorless pistol buy. It's not even like they try to force the issue and go for that armor Tech 9 play, but no investment or incredibly low investment, and it still works out. Sweden, on the opposing side, not going to be giving the same amount of respect to Argentina, but instead looking to bounce back with a near full buy. They're going to have that M4, UMP, 3 Ds, and bits of utility to play with here, as well as a kit, if need be. It's Johnny Boy boosted up in towards mid, and Slap chimes back with a deagle of his own. That's exactly right.
Yeah, a little revenge there from Slap. He's going to be able to chop him down, takes another frag on the board here. And Johnny is going to be dispatched. Now Strzok on the other side of the map, over towards B, finds the checkers player, and that's going to be Maytig down. I think they spotted NBL, but I don't think NBL spotted them. The molly comes out. That's going to flush him right into the waiting arms of some of these Argentinian players. Tommy not able to capitalize, but he's going to push back on a round. He might be able to catch him out, but no. Defiand finds another one, but he's roasting. He's so low, and NBL on high. Answers back, and it's going to be the man advantage going back to Argentina, but Adder pushing through a main. What is this round?
What are all of these rounds is really the question. Argentina still with 2 men up, but they have them mid control, both players nearby, and still the CTs are split. But Adder going to be repositioning himself towards Truck, so this does at least allow Sweden to potentially put their players together, play as that unit, but Argentina not taking the highway. Instead, they're going Zed.
Yeah, but look at Adder's positioning. He's watching both angles right now, but the timing, oh man, it's just not on his side, but he adjusts and he finds them both anyway!
That is a missed opportunity and another upset buy.
Oh my goodness, I mean, it's just back and forth and back and forth. Now, you got to think that Argentina, do they have the money for this? That's the big thing. I mean, the timing was not on his side, but man, the
Glocks.
Yeah. About 1 Glock. 3 Deagles and a Tech 9. We'll see if Johnny Boy gets boosted up and tries to hit Slap again. That would be hilarious.
I mean, I don't want to count them out because the last time Argentina found themselves in this situation, they were able to win the round. So anything is possible here and now. Still, though, bomb left back towards C-spawn. They're going to have to grab that one. So again, it's just Argentina playing themselves into the map control. They've got presence on both extremities, and then also the majority of their players still within towards mid. So Sweden going to be expending some utility early here, just at least keeping Argentina at bay, but they don't even realize they're not looking to push at this very moment.
Yeah, and I mean, they're playing this kind of the same way that they played their last Big Eagle round. That shot was, Slap's going, okay, all right. Adder, dead. Tutinen over by Squeaky. He's going to be able to find that pick. Molotov comes out, but that's a little bit of a waste from Defiand. Maybe he did read the patch notes in the last update where those Molotovs don't actually go through the doors anymore. But nevertheless, if they did try to push through that door, they would have roasted up a little bit, but not as effective as pushing players off as it used to be.
Now Argentina are going to be looking to come back. The fire is faded, and they still do have presence. 3 players inside of Squeaky, and they've got Johnny Boy over at the bottom of mid. So with players near B as well, they very well do have a chance into this one. Defiand going to be rotating off of the site because they now have this player inside of A main, so they think it's actually clear.
And the scary thing is, too, is that they've actually got a player in the cubby, in mid, the distraction over at B. Look at it. Oh, this is a beautiful play from Argentina. An absolutely beautiful play. Now, granted, Defiand and Slap were able to get some kills, but in the grand scheme of things, they were looking for a bomb plant. They got the bomb plant. It's still only a man advantage here for Sweden, and Sweden doesn't have any utility. They have 3 kits on the board, yeah, so if they get the kills in quick succession, they're going to get confused, but I mean, the Desert Eagles, it's a double quad play, and if they find one player, they might not be expecting to. They actually both peaked, so I don't really agree with that, but okay.
I mean, in this situation, of course, considering their investment, consider it's 2 versus 4. CTs are inbound from all different directions.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an arguable mistake, but it's not like they have too much of a loss because it's still a victory in this investment, right? Very little investment and very large gains.
8-3 for Adder. 7-3 for Tommy. So, I mean, it's just back and forth between these two teams right now. And, I mean, Sweden's coming out on top, but Argentina's going to have another bye. The bomb plant in the last round, the bomb plant the round before that, definitely paying dividends for them in the long run. So we'll see what they can do. No AWP for Johnny, but that's going to be okay. They can go for a little bit of a faster execute into this round, I feel. The pickoff game has been working really, really well for him so far, though. Sweden getting a little bit impatient. You can see Adder actually getting aggressive. Defiand just trying to throw a little bit of spam out. And Adder, he actually just got tagged up through the back wall by Tutanen in towards A main. So he's forced to fall back from that position. You can actually see they've got a player by Toxic, Barrels by Boost. And actually, he's going to fall back in towards A main. So they're going to double up in this area. So they've got A main control. The Boost in mid is going to be weakened because of that.
Slap still just jiggling around these boxes. Has to be cautious as Tommy and 2 other players are now starting to close that distance. It's Argentina with all the mid control at the moment. As currently Sweden's defense is split on towards those sites. They do, of course, have Slap near that Z connector if he wants to either get aggressive and try to catch Argentina pushing highway, or as well just lie in wait. And they will see. But Tommy going to be putting out some smokes. Exactly that. Slap taking the initiative, grabbing the frag, and putting Sweden into the advantage.
Yeah, it's a smart peek, but they've got one over by Catbox, and Defiand overextending. He's going to get punished. There was a smoke at the top side of Cat. There was no reason for him to go for that peek, especially after they just thwarted a push over towards the Z hallway. So a little bit poor decision-making there, but we will be seeing the Argentinian side possibly go towards B, and Tommy is going to win that spray battle. There's a UMP in the corner. A lot of flash carries, but they haven't capitalized on this. Slap and Zealous going to be able to answer the call and drop 2 of them. And there it is. Adder on the flank play finds the last 2. That A main presence comes to fruition later on in the round because he's going to be able to get that fast flank. So Sweden, they find themselves once again in control of this map.
It's a combination of the early A main presence and also a lack of smoke grenades for Argentina because as they're not able to put one on towards the top of heaven, there's that excellent crossfire on the B site. And then when they keep those players stopped in their tracks, of course that's when, as you mentioned, that flank really does come to fruition. So it's going to be Sweden doubling the score of Argentina 4-2. Round number 7 coming at you. Defiand on a P90, not the AWP, but of course an excellent chance to farm some moolah.
I'm actually curious about this, if that was a misbuy or if he actually meant to go for the P90 because...
He bought one earlier in Mirage. So,
because I was wondering that because obviously you don't get the extra money bonus from it and it costs as much as a FAMAS. So, generally speaking, the UMP is going to be the one that you want to go for because they do possibly get any kind of armor. It's got the armor and things of that nature. Medic opens up, takes down Tommy. He's going to kind of be the difficult one to get rid of. Defiand, the long-range spray, is going to be able to find one. Adder with the squeaky pick. He's going to be able to find one as well. And NBL on this slap, it's down to a 2 versus 4. Make that a 1 versus 4 as Adder has really come to play in this map too. He's up to 12 frags now.
I mean, this is another round, obviously, where Argentina has a very stark disadvantage, go for the very low investment. So, of course, they had found success in rounds like those before. Let's not take it away from them. The opportunity is still there, but it goes as expected. Just Sweden able to find themselves another round. Argentina still stuck at 2, and now Defiand makes the upgrade. He's got himself his AWP, kits, nades, everything Sweden could ask for. Their prayers have been answered. It's still Argentina with 5 AKs. They've got the nades themselves, but because they don't have that off, they're not going to be able to rely on Johnny Boy to find an opening advantage. Instead, they have to play as a unit here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's a big disadvantage. You've got an AWPer that's not getting offs.
Yep.
And that's massive. I mean, that's really, really difficult to work with. You know, that's like having Guardian on your team and not having an AWP in his hands, 90% of your buy rounds. And that's really, really difficult. These flashbangs caught out in the open is going to be Adder. Looking for a second one. Straka is able to find decent damage onto Defiand, dropping him to 50. And then down to 3 HP. Long-range spray from NPL nets him 1 and almost a second. 9 HP left on Zealous, but he does get the spam back. It's going to be a man advantage here for Argentina, the best looking round we've seen from them in a while, as they are looking to get a third round on the board.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they do still have, as you said, that man advantage, health advantage as well. 210 is tagged, so you'll have to be cautious, but Sweden still looking to set as though it seems like they're still contemplating this one. They have to be quick here. The time is dwindling, but now the Molotov going to be forcing the hand of 210, and it's going to kill him. He doesn't get far enough away. It spreads to his feet and burns him alive, but still 3 players up on towards the site. The bomb's so incredibly close to exploding, but there's a man currently on it. Is Maytag about to get this defuse? He does!
My God, he ninja'd him!
With no smoke cover on the site, but instead just players nearby to cover. He sticks the defuse, and that is huge.
That's a kick in the nuts for Argentina right there. I mean, how do you even recover from that one? That is so detrimental to your morale right there, because they had the round. They had 3 players alive, and he just sticks the defuse under no cover at all. Sweden up 6-2 in an unlikely round win from them. It's going to be the buy down from Argentina. They had the money to go for it. And finally, Johnny Boy's going to have an op that was salvaged off of Delpan's corpse in the last round. He's going to go toe-to-toe. He actually spots out Slap in the Zed hallway, but he's not going to be able to pull the trigger in time. And actually, he's going to fall back from that one. And Delpan, well, he's playing close on A main, but they are doing it just to get that boost up. So they're going to have Adder on high in the A-bomb site. They're going to have a couple of players watching towards mid. And Delpan, he's going to be supporting from the A-bomb site down towards highway.
I have to say, these aggressive CT plays so far from Sweden have actually netted them a lot of advantageous positions, and Argentina just can't seem to deal with it. The same can be said with the success they had on Mirage, and I think that was kind of a bit of an absence on Overpass. It allowed for Argentina to play their game, use their boosts, do all sorts of cheeky things that they just don't seem to be having in their bag, at least on these other 2 maps. But they do still have a minute to play with, so at the very least, that's the silver lining, boosting players up over towards the top of mid, and again, they're going to be transitioning into one of these set plays. We mentioned their preparation clearly shining through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we talked about how Argentina said that they worked on counter-stratting Sweden. Where is it?
I don't know.
It's, I mean, their takes into these bomb sites have been okay, a little bit sloppy from time to time, but Argentina really haven't had that opportunity to play from the front foot. They haven't had that opportunity to have that man advantage most of the rounds, and when they do, they kind of squander it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, look at the last round. It was a 4-on-3 retake situation from Sweden. Granted, they get all of the kills in the long run, but it is what it is. But here's the boost play. It's coming to fruition. Spotting the other player that was in A main, not able to find it, but Adder is able to clean up 2 before all said and done. Look at how low 2 players are. Straka and Tommy, a rogue bullet. You sneeze on them and they die. Johnny Boy's going to have the hero play here.
He's at least holding this angle, keeping his eye on towards Truck. Zelos as well from Highway, so both players from Sweden coming in from the general same direction if they try to push the issue. They do still have a flash and a Molotov if they want to isolate it out, but it's Johnny to connect a shot, and he's coming up big when his team needs him most. Johnny with a second and the frag. Now, of course, we did just say that Argentina's preparation may not be shining through right now, but let's, of course, still contextualize what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
It was pistol trades back for the first 4 rounds. Then, of course, we even mentioned that Johnny doesn't have that AWP, so there have just been limitations to what Argentina have been allowed to play. Now that they have some money, now that Johnny's got his op, we see the double op set up in the form of Straka, and with Sweden only on pistols, this should be a way for Argentina to not only find another round, but continue this economic backbone that they have been able to garnish. So from here, maybe now, we're going to see that preparation.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things, too, is even though Sweden has been able to string along all these rounds, not necessarily in quick succession of each other.
Oh. No, Tommy at least able to refrag into that situation, and now Johnny from the top of the sign able to grab another. It's fantastic.
Zealous, though, he trades out Tommy, so we're still on a 3v3. But kind of to reiterate, I mean, we see the safe come out from the Swedish side, and that's mainly because of these round trades and how cclose some of these rounds have actually been. And nading, we saw how strong his deagle work was on Overpass, and he's going in, boys. He is going in. Man advantage now for Sweden. Is he going to check the angle? Yes, he is. Okay.
He finds the headshot as well, so that's great. But now still a bit of a situation here. Zealous has been able to grab that AK-47. But not only, not only does he grab that AK-47, but he still has confirmation as to the bomb presence. He's given up that positioning now, but he knows that at some point Argentina are going to have to be passing their way back through mid, which then does also make either the A or B site a possibility. If that bomb was dropped towards one of the 2, then maybe they go for the favor, but instead we're going to see Sweden just having their players inside of mid and waiting to react to whatever it is Argentina throws their way.
Yeah, and again, I mean, difficult situation for both sides here, but they've got an AK on Zealous, and Sweden had nothing into this round.
Mm-hmm.
So if they steal this one away, I mean, again, Argentina, they're going to be feeling this one. Here's the replay of that Deagle shot, never mind. Push is coming in towards A. Rightfully so. Good job, replay guy.
Yep.
Canceling that one. They're actually starting to heat up. The spray transfer almost lands. Tutanen is going to be able to get the better of that one, but they do have a player right in the backside of this smoke. Ooh, Maydig. He's done good work into this. Shadow going to go for the spams. Not able to get it done, unfortunately. Nicely played there from Argentina at the end. It was almost enough. Almost enough. But another round on the board for Argentina. They pull within 2. 6-4 is the scoreline moving forward. We will see another bye round come out from the Swedish side. Here's the Deagle shot that we were looking for. And there it is. Nicely done from him.
Oh, and then the refrag comes through the smoke, so that's excellent stuff. Obviously, knowing that a player was boosted over, he gets it in transition. So, nice little read from Argentina. But still, they're down by 2. As you said, a rebuy from Sweden. They now still have that off towards Defiand. So damn close is Johnny's first shot. Defiand looking to take a peek of his own over here towards Squeaky. The presence is nearby, but unfortunately for Defiand, the opportunity never presents itself.
Yeah, and actually now they've got Johnny watching for the Squeaky push as well, so if he does continue to trounce on through that area, he might get caught out. He does decide to fall back in towards that A-bomb site, and rightfully so. He's the only defender on that area. He does have a fast rotation box, who's been dynamite holding down that A-bomb site. I mean, absolutely dynamite holding it down. The big thing is like, when Argentina can open up a bomb site, it's usually Adder's the one that dies first, which is kind of interesting to say because you never want to associate a round win with killing one person on the other team. But a lot of the opportunity that Argentina has had has come off the back of them killing Adder. This time it's Defiand. He's trying to play the open squeaky door play with that AWP. They're going to get in behind this, and Adder, well, he's here. He does good damage onto one. The nade is going to rattle him a little bit, but in the meantime, Zealous is able to find Johnny, takes the op out of their hands, and Adder's going to be willing and dealing. Finds a second one. Slap is there for the refrag, and it's all down to Straka. The late lurk out mid is not going to be netting him anything fruitful just yet. He's going to be looking for it now, but all order with 30 seconds left. And was that a jump shot that just hit him?
Yep. That's exactly it. Straka's still trying to close the distance, but at this point he's been spotted, right? So they're just waiting for him to push onto this one. The time playing against him, a fourth enemy really right here, right now. Slap has the verticality, and now still a bit of a cross, but the players just kind of mistiming their piece there. It does give a little bit of a chance to Straka, but it's still, of course, a very difficult position. So it's going to be Sweden with another one. But that time, they rotate their players up towards that A site and prevent the T side of Argentina from ever getting in. But it's up really to Adder, who delays that initial push for so long that the player who comes up highway spots the gap in the smoke. And if he hadn't been able to spot that, if he didn't rotate there at that very moment, it's very possible we find Argentina with maybe not the round, but at least an additional plant.
Yeah, and the big thing too, I mean, Adder continues this dominating performance. He's up to 16 frags now. Throughout the opening 11 of this one, so continuing to keep the pressure on. I mean, we saw it was Slap and it was Defiand in the last map. This time around, it's going to be Adder who's doing a brunt of the work. And now we see the smoke execute coming in towards the A-bomb site, but look at the residual Molotovs that are thrown out that just completely quell the push. There's nothing that's come out from the Argentinian side, and now Adder, he's going to get himself into a more favorable position. They're looking for the bomb plant, but it's going to be Slap to find one. Johnny Boy answers the call. Molotov holds it back, but Adder coming around through the smoke, going to be able to light up another one. Spanning, fully flashed, tries to swap over. They actually have Zealous blind too, so the big thing though is the HP advantage right now for the CT side.
Yeah, it's huge. Still, 2 players near the site.
Oh, the bomb's on top of Redbox.
This sucks. Couldn't be worse. Unless, of course, Sweden do give them the chance, but with Defiand and they take both towards highway, they can see it bleeping, and I mean, obviously at this point, Argentina, their hands are tied. They're going to have to take these aim duels, and they don't. It's not even like they have an AWP, so Defiand grabbing the first frag. Of course, that's the player Straka tagged up by Adder initially, and now repositioning from Defiand to make this one even more difficult, because 210 tries to think that, oh, maybe the truck push works, and potentially it has, but again, the bomb still needs to be grabbed here, Mega Man.
I don't think he realizes that it's up there yet. I don't think he knows that it's actually up on top of the red box.
Or does he?
I have no idea. He at least knew that the presence was over towards the Z hallway. He's going to throw out a flashbang down in that area, but he's going to get caught out a little bit. Now he has to go for the bomb. He does realize that it's actually up there, but 16 seconds. Throwing out some spam, and he has to jump up, but the nade pool. He's going to get into the site. He's going to get a plan. It's a little bit of a misplay, and he's actually going to go for the peek. He's going around just off of sheer fragging ability. Nicely played from Tutanen.
The game sense, the play, and he survives with such a sliver of health. That's a round that Argentina in this situation, of course they win. They need to be happy, but they need to recognize how damn close that really was. Tutanen going for the repeat. 1 HP.
4 kills on the round, 1 HP.
And now it also allows them to potentially grab another as they have the double Mac 10. They've got a read on Sweden's situation right now, so not only do they have the proper weapons to play this.
Crucial round.
Exactly. And now odds are that they're going to be able to come into this one with just the play style as well, because when you expect this team to be the way they are and you guess things right, at least you know that your theory just needs to be applied.
We'll see if they can do just that. Argentina looking to get a 6th round on the board as we close out the remaining couple of rounds of the first half of map number 3. Remember how we got here? 19-17 on overpass in favor of Argentina. A barn burner, baby. That was a brutal match on both sides. Both teams fired on all cylinders. It was Johnny that led the way for Argentina. And then we had a 16-5 victory for Sweden as they answer the call on Mirage to force this third map. And again, it's a close affair. 7-5. We thought Sweden might be able to run away with it, but 3 out of the last 4 rounds going the way of Argentina, and suddenly they found themselves back in the mix. It's going to be an opportunity for them here to farm some cash and get a 6th round on the board to pull within 1. Barring any craziness from these pistols, and we've seen the Swedish side pull off some maniacal things with these pistols. I was looking for the right word. I think that one fits out pretty well because it's been crazy.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man.
It's been crazy.
Argentina looking to split out on towards the B site, all 5 players nearby, and there's going to be 2 defenders for the side of Sweden. It's Maytek still behind the boxes. Down he goes. Slap just joining the Armada, joins the Congo line, gets the chance for a couple of shots, but they get wind of what's going on. Damage dealt, but no frags found. It's Sweden in a 2 versus 5, and both players opposite side of the map.
Yeah, and I wish that I could have seen the point of view of the player who killed Slap when he ran in, because it was 2 terrorists and a CT right in between the 2 of them, just running in towards that bomb site. And you had to go, wait, what the hell's going on? You're not one of us. Does manage to get the kill. We do see the Mag-10 finding a 2nd kill here as NBL is going to be able to find that one. So money farm successful, $1,200 in the bank. Adder, I mean, look at the carry that's going on right now on the Swedish side. I mean, Adder at 17-8. The closest behind him is 8 frags behind.
Yeah,
He's almost double the kills.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Argentina, even despite being at that round disadvantage, still, even though they do just pick up another one to bring it to the 7-6, they do kind of have 3 players closer towards that top. So it's a bit more of a team effort, or at least a team performance.
12,
and now another round for Argentina to potentially slip away with, because it's pistols once more for Sweden. They were unable to dodge the double save, and of course this comes off the back of what? That 1 HP 1v2 clutch.
Yeah, and this is actually really brutal for Sweden. I mean, getting reset this hard, this late in the map, really hurts because they had that I think it was 7-3, 6-2 scoreline at the beginning of this one. They were looking like they were going to run away with the half. Now they can potentially not even take the round lead into the second half. Argentina could potentially 8-7 this, and that's going to be, I mean, massive for them. There you go. The opening pick goes the way of Johnny. He's going to be able to find that one on the Adder. And now the push coming around toward the backside of that A bomb site. Well, Tootin, he is going to fall, but the distraction has been good enough for the time being. The bomb is over at the B bomb site, and all 3 Swedes are going to be over towards A.
Yeah, I mean, if Zelos grabs an AK in this situation, it's at the cost of a bomb plant and 4 players being still up for Argentina. So, small victory. Not in the big scheme of things. Johnny Boy still with presence in mid, catches Slap off guard. Still, again, Argentina holding down this after plant. And you can see the Swedish players, he's trying to get presence here. Maytek shooting away with that Desert Eagle, but unable to find anything for his efforts. It's, again, 28 points of health between the 2 players still up for Sweden. Johnny, he doesn't want anybody to save right now.
Well, at this juncture...
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
I was going to say at this juncture they weren't going to have an opportunity, but yeah, that was a nice shot. That was a real nice shot. All right, I mean,
simple as that.
They're going to chase down here. They're going to try to find these rifles, but they're not going to get an opportunity into it. So they will carry over both of the AKs. They actually salvaged the one off the Johnny Boy as well. So that's a nice little bit of a find. That's $2,700 or $3,100 on the CT side that they don't have to spend going into the next round just based off that. Here's that shot. Oh, that was a sick shot. Yeah,
best of a bad situation.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like we said, I mean, they carry the 2 AKs over, so that's more utility that they're able to pick up. You can see Adder's going to have the AK. He goes for the small armor, Molotov, and HE. You see Zealous, he was one of the ones that carried over the AK in this round. Kit, head armor, full arsenal of grenades to work with. So this is a big buy. Even Delpan on the AWP, he's got the other kit, he's got the other head armor, and he's going to be the one that's carrying over 2 flashes of smoke and an incendiary grenade. But look at this presence. That pop flash is money! Oh,
and this time they almost clear out heaven already. Yes, Straka finds the frag, and NBL quickly dealing with Slap, who was on that fast flank. It's Zelos within the heaven, and obviously Adder inside of Vents, but he too is dealt with swiftly. 4 versus 1. It is Argentina not only to stop Sweden in their tracks, but now take all the momentum and potentially the lead going into into the second half. We've, of course, recognized their CT sides, but it's this time off the terrorist half that they find themselves in a very fantastic position. Still one man standing. Zelos with a chance, no doubt, but a very difficult position, most certainly, and that's exactly right.
So many angles.
So many angles.
Covered.
Argentina just ready to react accordingly. Everybody in a good position to, once he reveals himself, peek out for the trade. So it's a situation where Argentina, again, were favored. They play it intelligently, and they grab themselves that 8th round. We certainly have a game on our hands.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're ever in that situation, it's the last round of the half, and you're in a 4v1. Argentina played that absolutely perfectly. I mean, they had a guy playing tarp watching the headshot push. They had a guy playing an off angle watching for the headshot push. They had the AWPer that was sitting back watching both heaven and the push towards tarp, and then they also had a guy in back sight that was watching for the rail push as well. So a lot of angles being covered. They knew that he wasn't coming from the vent side of things, so checkers wasn't really the issue. Even though they had a presence that could spin around and watch that, the tarp guy could watch for that as well. So really nice stuff from Argentina, and they're actually going to take the lead into the second half. In a pistol round here, this isn't the most important pistol round that we've seen throughout this series of maps, but taking the momentum, I mean, hell, they're gonna anti-eco him afterwards anyway, so what does it matter?
Valid point. Very valid point.
That's been the name of the game here. I mean, it's been Argentina that's been the victors of most of that, but push is coming around through mid. The tapping comes out. Slap is able to find one, but over by Sandbags. Yet to be overrun, though. They finally take him down, but Johnny Boy's going to be able to find one on Zealous. And maybe he's going to be able to swing that advantage back around to Straka. Well, he's very lit, and now he's very dead.
I mean, unfortunately for Argentina, their defense just crumbled, but they did have the right positioning there. So we asked before, where does this preparation come in, right? And one of the things you can always prepare for is going to be pistol rounds, because there are teams who can become quite repetitive. So you see, obviously, that position behind the sandbags. He sits, he waits, and even once that first fight happens, he gives it an additional second. When he peeks back up, there's 3 players coming up highway. He grabs the first, and if he had been able to capitalize on that, there very well could have been that kind of entire push shut down, would have left only Swedish players coming out from A main, and then potentially they would have been able to hold the site. But it will be Argentina with a force buy. We've got CZs, we've got a Deeg, we've got Johnny with nothing. So this is it, right? We were mentioning, of course, at the beginning of the first half how he didn't have his AWP. And this is a player who, as the desk has talked about, will play a P250 in a round while his teammates have guns if it means getting the AWP. He'll do whatever it takes, and this quite evidently clear exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he wants to have that AWP, but his teammates have also put themselves into a position to be successful into this round, picking up armor, picking up a little bit of utility, upgrading their pistols. I mean, we've seen it work for him in the past, albeit this time around they don't have any scouts in hand. I mean, that was Straka and Johnny the last couple of times that have picked up the scouts and made them work. I mean, we saw it work for him on Mirage, albeit they didn't win a boatload of rounds on that map. I think they only got 5 rounds in the grand scheme of things, but they did win the anti-eco after the Swedish side won the pistol. This time around, it's going to be a close quarters battle. Straka's got to hit the headshot. Or he can just do that. That's okay as well. 17 HP left for Delpan. He's got the Galil to work with, but the flashbang comes out. That's going to blind him up a little bit. It was a stack towards B. Now they're going to rotate back over towards A, and this is...
Yeah, I mean, those deagle shots don't actually find the kill, but it at least keeps Sweden from executing into that B site. And you saw Argentina rotate players off. Now they've been able to bring players elsewhere on the map. So now Sweden looking to re-engage from this very same position. Straka nearby as Tommy attempts to again find these deagle frags. Straka peeking out, but Zelos denies as the UMP headshot rings true. It's a 4 versus 4, but tagged Swedish players. Zelos chiming in with another one as Johnny Boy comes through the smoke, but NBL also answering. It's a 3 versus 3, incredibly close as Slap looks to take the lead once more.
Yeah, and they swing the man advantage back around, but it's Tutanen and Tommy, and Tutanen has actually picked up that UMP, so he's going to have an opportunity into this one, spots out the player in checkers, and actually has fallen back a little bit from this one. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him take the armor and the ump in the next round, especially with his teammate Tommy falling in this situation, but I know exactly where he is. They're going to go for the Tech 9 frag, but Tutanen is going to be able to answer the call, and now he's going to fall back. And this is the right move. I mean, he gets the Galil as well, so even more firepower into the next round. But fall back from that one. You've still got the head armor to work with, so take that into the next round, see if you can't work a little bit of magic with it. But the big story about that one is Sweden. They don't get ecoed.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from that one. They lose 3 players, but they at least win the round, which is one of the first times that we've actually seen the anti-eco work out for one of these teams.
We wanted a close match.
We got a close match.
Exactly. Tied up. 8-all. Excuse me, Sweden, 9-all. 9-8. Something. Double AK, double long. Max 10.
Are you okay?
Yep.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Just want to make sure that I'm not losing you yet.
Not as of yet.
Delirium sets in on the plane ride back.
Yeah.
we got long flights ahead of us on Monday, my friend. 9-8, Sweden.
Tutin with a Galil as well. So I mean, he does he's able to hold on.
He's got
to
the
that.
head armor.
Yeah, it's at least a chance. It's a silver lining.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yep. Slight one.
Slight as well. Take it. Good. Absolutely take it. Johnny Boy not buying a thing into this round, neither are Tommy and BL, but we've seen them do stuff with just the USPs. I mean, we saw them, take 3 guns out of the hands on Mirage of Sweden with just a USB save round. So it's going to come down to, did Adder hear the boost? Can Delpin line up the young frags? And with Tutenim being up here, if they run past this, this is going to be tricky.
He's already checking it.
For it. They're looking for it. Are they going to full clear it, though? He's going to push on out towards the site. He's just trying to get it up. He does bait out the shots, and he will find the frag. Nicely played from Delpan. Oh, Adder.
Yeah.
Hi, see ya, Straka. Adios.
Exactly. He's just so explosive. Comes his way out through Sweden, clears the site, and then, of course, checks out Truck. So he sees, of course, the players rotating over from Argentina, still inside of the CT spawn. Adder, with all this information, allows Sweden to confidently plant the bomb, grab those after plants, and know that they have this one in the bag.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to take a 2-round lead. We don't see the round trades come out like we did in the first half, so things are playing, they're playing nice now.
Yes.
They're playing by the rules, where you're supposed to win the first round and you're supposed to get the rounds afterwards. That's the way the game is supposed to work. But Argentina's had other ideas into some of these rounds, but this time around it's going to be the way that it's supposed to be. And they're going to actually feed them to the cleaners. Delpan and Zealous going to pick up a couple more frags. And now things are starting to equalize a little bit more. Zealous up to 16 frags, joining Adder at the top at 18. Adder's been at 18 for a little while. He hasn't really been getting those frags that we've seen in the first half, but 15 frags for 2 players on the Argentinian side. That's Johnny Boy and Tutenin. They're going to have to really step up. Straka struggling a little bit at 8 and 13. He's going to have to do some work. Tommy's only got 10 kills. We're going to come into our first full rifle round. First thing that you notice on the CT side, no kids.
No kids. I was going to say the op on Johnny just because of how goddamn explosive he can be.
This is true.
Exactly. Johnny has a bit of an angle inside of Squeaky as well. Adder, having done the cross, jumps on back, so Johnny knows there's presence, just decides to fall on back. Great defensive play. Again, not being too overzealous.
He's going back in for more.
I spoke too soon.
Maybe thinking that player is still going to be jumping around, bounding around from that area, and, well, he's still there, Adder. And that would be a nice find for him if they can actually find that player, and he's going to be throwing out a smoke here soon, so if he gets the timing on this, it's a cat and mouse game. Back in. Oh, Johnny gets the tag up. He's going for the re-peek, and Adder is going to be able to win the battle. Very low. 1 HP for 2 different players in the server right now. NBL has actually been tagged up, chipped down, and he's going to find himself low. I love this free aggression from Tutenin, though. He's going to find the frag onto Adder, and he does have space to actually fall back into the site. There is a presence coming to A main, but look at the aggression coming out on B. They get the frag in one area. They're going to have to push around behind that, and now Tutenin, he's getting pinched from a lot of different angles, so he's going to fall back, just hide in Squeaky for the time being and try to re-aggress later. Presence on that. Oh, all right.
This is an awesome situation for Argentina because with that player inside of Squeaky, they now have Sweden surrounded despite them being on the site. Delpan finding that one frag is absolutely crucial to still give them a chance. It is the 2 versus 3 with Argentina having that 1 man up. But again, you could argue that the 1 man up is only sitting on 1 HP. Delpan keeping an eye on towards Squeaky, but there's nobody there anymore because he's taken the long flank all the way back to A main, joining forces with his comrade still, as well as NBL pushing up from Truck. So
they need to start pushing, though. There's no kid on the CT side. They're taking so much time to get in on this one. And at least now the trades are going their way, but Delpan's got other ideas. They don't have a kid. It's going to be a 10-second defuse, and Delpan wins this round. So
close.
That retake, I mean, the bomb should even kill Tommy here. Yeah, so no joy for the Argentinian side. They don't even get the op out of that round. And again, I mean, for the sake of going for the extra utility, they forsake the kit. And you know what they say. Don't be a loser.
Buy a diffuser.
Absolutely. And I mean, if he has a kit there, he wins the round. And I told you, that was the first thing to note at the beginning of that round was the lack of a presence of a kit for the CT side, and it costs him in the long run. That would have been Argentina picking up a round, albeit it was a 1 versus X situation in the end of 1 versus 1. Delpan ends up playing that one very, very intelligently. It ends up winning the round, but
I mean, it's not just a diffuse kit. What if, of course, Johnny Boy, his shot doesn't just leg him through the edge of the wall, but actually takes him down? That's a 5 versus 4, falls back. That is the essence of Counter-Strike, and that is why we love it. Adder finding an opening frag here to the favor of Sweden. Again, it's Argentina back onto the pistols, so the back foot where they're playing from. Again, we've mentioned it more than once. They're still capable in these sorts of rounds. They've done it before. Adder not checking his corners will net NBL a frag. Again, they have this player inside of Squeaky, and Defiand getting aggressive, but Defiand's able to deny, and so does Slap in the back of mid. And now immediately Sweden looking for the rotation. They think, of course, Argentina, that they've got them boxed in, but they punch out one side and head it straight to the B.
And this is the right call, obviously. You see that it was a bit of a stack on the A-bomb side. That pop flash into A main was brutal, but they get the timing on it, they get the lineup, and they get it done. And Saka, he's just going to try to play that one aggressive. NBL, your last man standing. He's actually saved an AK here, so this is a nice little find moving forward into the next round. See if they can lock it down, see if they can do anything with it from this point out, but for now, it's going to be Sweden taking a 4-round lead, 12-8. So let me pose a question. I know that we don't have a large audience anymore, but you guys that are out there, who's voting for Sweden on this one, guys? Can you make some noise for Sweden? All right, so we've got some Sweden fans in here. What about Argentina, guys?
Yeah.
It was the same people.
Exactly.
It was the same people for both of them.
Do you know what that means?
They're liars.
Not that they're liars.
They're hyped.
Nope. They appreciate some Counter-Strike.
Hey, man, I can get behind that. 12-8, the scoreline. Sweden with a 4-round lead moving forward. They do salvage the AK into this next round, so that's a rifle that they aren't going to have to buy. And this play from NBL was pretty solid, but
it's that pop flash could have been so big.
The turn from Defiand, that saved 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously Slap clearing out that fast flank as well kind of just gives them the opportunity to bring it towards B so they can dodge the threat of additional Argentinian players. But now it's a gun round.
This is go time right here.
More. It's now or never for Argentina. Sweden looking for number 13. Argentina looking for the 9. Mac 10 on Delpen. No ump as well for Zelos. So a bit of an actual weapon disadvantage here to the favor of Argentina, but of course it's going to have to be up to the individual plays. NBL keeping an eye on towards Squeaky. Nobody getting aggressive in towards here this time, and Delpen goes down to the headshot. NBL with an excellent opening. 2-10 combining forces to take down another. Slap looking to refrag here from Squeaky, and Straka on the fast flank, but Mayte also dropping as Adder finally finds an opening kill for Sweden.
Find one. Oh no! NBL goes down, not able to line it up. We're back into a 2 versus 2. Tooten going to be the sole defender over here towards A. Well, they don't have bomb control on the CT side of Argentina. That flashbang is going to come around the corner. They know that he's in A main, so they're just going to plant it safe. There's no reason for him to plant for any kind of a peek. The Molotov comes out though. That's going towards quad side, so that's a little bit deep. That's not going to push the player off the default. You can see, I mean, it's Johnny Boy and AWP in the mix for this one. Flashbang's going out. The smokes are going to be connecting as well, and they're going to try to push on in forward to this. And the ladder sounds are going to give away his position. So they know that he's over there, but there it is. Tooten finally pouncing from A main, and now it's going to be Slap. 1 versus 2. Johnny has picked up an M4. They're going to be looking for this one. And hey, 2 kits on the board.
I was about to say
the
same thing.
They bought 4 kits this round.
But Slap has a Molotov, and 210 also has a smoke, so who knows what's going to happen here. Slap able to isolate the fights. That's going to be the first one, but it is Johnny to find the second. But is there?
It's going to be so close. No time.
Damn. So close, but Argentina robbed of another round. It's Sweden to find it and continue forward with this form. Argentina with their back against the wall. We said it was that time right then. They had to do it now, and unfortunately they do just come up a millimeter short.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't even say that Argentina was robbed from that. I'd say they robbed themselves. They took too long to get in there for the retake. And at that point, they knew that they killed the guy forklift, so there's really no need to even worry about too much over that area, because very rarely will you ever see people double up a forklift position.
But there's also this round. Argentina still coming into it with a buy. Of course, no kit, so they're not going to be losing sites because they're finding frags. 3 players still standing on the side of Sweden, all of which have those Kalashnikovs and utility as well. But Argentina with the man advantage just need to hold 2 players towards each site. It's going to be up to Sweden to pop one of these defenses wide open.
Yeah, I mean, 3 Molotovs in play here for Sweden as well. They've got 3 smokes on the board, 3 flashes. Everything coming in 3s right now. 3 Glocks, 3 head armors, 3 AKs.
Destiny.
HL3 confirmed? I was going to say Half-Life 3 confirmed. Nevertheless, I mean, 13-8, 5 rounds the difference. Argentina, they need to start stringing rounds together. They need to get their money in the right place, and they also need to start winning some rounds to get that confidence built back up, because things are starting to slide a little bit. Slipping. It's not a good look. Made a nice shot from him. He's going to lock it down, and that's going to accelerate the hit in towards the A-bomb site. You can see they're going to get shot behind the smoke. And I'm not sure what that was. He's just running, holding down mouse 1, and Johnny Boy able to answer the call. Finds 2, and Tommy is there So they will finally answer it back. They get the op as well, salvage it, and Argentina are going to find a 9th round on the board. 4 rounds now the difference.
I mean, 2 players up does mean, of course, that the economic difficulties should shine through. However, it's not the worst case scenario. Argentina still with a very real chance. Of course, we said they had to come up now, but it's a round late. Still, Johnny Boy finding those 2. Obviously, Mate coming around, that's going to be the first, and they almost line up there, but Zelos does get the timing right, so Sweden able to capitalize, but it is still an Argentinian round on towards the board, 9-13, as we find an op in the hands of 1 player on each side again.
Yeah, Defiand's going to pick it up here for the Swedish side. We've seen him do some work with it. Johnny Boy's going to be on the receiving end. He's just watching for that cross to come around towards that toxic area. Defiand is over there. See if he obliges. He's just throwing a little bit of spam out for the time being, just to distract a little bit. Maybe throwing that spam out's going to, push that player back off of holding that tight angle on towards that B area. But as of right now, I mean, look at the positioning for Tommy as well. He's outside of the checker box, outside of B. Actually, they're starting to push a little bit too. They're going to buddy system this one up. They're going to get aggressive on B. And I actually like this call because if they can do this quick enough, they're going to be able to get the flank in towards mid and solidify the hold. The smoke wall comes out. Actually, I like this positioning from NBL. They're creeping on the smoke. He's going to go right around from behind him. The pop flash is good. Defiand's going to be there for the trade. But unfortunately, he misses Slap coming through the other side of the smoke. So it's a 2-for-1 trade favoring Sweden. And a reset here for Argentina would be an absolute disaster. They cannot lose this round.
Oh, and 2 cents going to be trying to avoid exactly that, but Johnny Boy chimes in with a frag as Adder does trade here on towards
Tommy.
A. Exactly. Tommy coming in from the flank. Now, do they see it? Of course, he's eventually going to have to open up this door, so his position will be revealed. So it comes down to Johnny getting into position before Tommy reveals himself. And they're going to be trying to catch Sweden in reaction to whatever it is Johnny throws at them. That's what Tommy is waiting for right now. And there it is. The flashbang pops, but he never sees Slap. It's okay, though, because he's at least taken 1. And now they know exactly where it is. It's AK versus AK. Johnny on the defuse with a flashbang still in hand, but he comes off of it, and Slap starts urging his way slowly but surely around the box. But Johnny keeps him in it. Argentina with another, and it's now double digits for both.
Here's the big thing about that play, too, in that 2 versus 2. That pop flash goes out, and it actually does blind the player over at quad. He pops the squeaky door at the same time that flash goes out, so maybe Slap didn't hear the door open. And the benefit of that was he actually hit the harder of the 2 shots.
Exactly.
He clears out the more difficult player. Once you're embedded over towards quad, it's very difficult to find the frag on that player. They can play ring around the rosy with you, and it's really difficult to flush that player out, especially since Johnny was coming from catwalk. So that was a really, really nice play. And like I said, I mean, he could have potentially gotten both of those kills, but he actually gets the harder of the 2, and that makes it all that much easier for Johnny to be able to clutch that round out. So Argentina find themselves on 10, a reset for Sweden. So we're not done yet, boys. We got some more CS tonight.
Absolutely.
I'm loving this series.
4 Desert Eagles for the side of Sweden, a Tech 9. They've got these tools to work with, but it's most certainly the bare bone minimum. Johnny's still to the back of quad as well, looking to set up some main usage, but it's 2-10 to find an opening. Frag looking for a little bit more here. Of course, in the anti-eco, they should be able to clean this up. All they're really doing here is trying to minimize losses. So players already starting to rotate over. They have the support from Truck, but the highway, a main push grabs them another frag.
Yeah, and Slap's actually found Johnny Boy as well over by quad, so things going a little bit awry here for the Argentinian side. There's a man advantage now for Sweden. They're going to be trying to make this one happen. They're getting towards the bomb site, but NBL's got different plans. He's going to be able to find one Straka on the flank. I think they know that he's coming from this position. I think he rattled off some shots at one point or another. That flash is definitely going to give away his position, but they have an they have an M4 in the hands of Defiand, and he's going to be able to utilize that to take down Tommy. So the man advantage continues here for Sweden. And around the side, though, Straka does get the equalizer, brings it back into an even strength. But this is really hard. I mean, they get NBL. They know that the other player is over here from Squeaky, but it's going to be a 10-second defuse. He does get the kill, but okay, he has time.
Yeah, there's time there. So Argentina, I mean,
but again, another 1v1.
Exactly, another 1v1. So damn close. Argentina, they dodge a bullet here, but again, remember that they had a very clear advantage coming into that round. And it comes down to being so close.
This is what we saw in France-Canada earlier on. I mean, all these 1v1s, I mean, right now Argentina's winning them. If Sweden wins those, this map is over. The map in the series is over, but the clutches right now are going the way of Argentina. They're able to clean these up. They're able to get the diffuses, albeit close. I mean, they're back onto 3 kits into this round. But again, because these rounds are so close, the buy is not good for the Argentinians. So maybe it's a fast strategy from Sweden that they need. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Looking to potentially overwhelm them. We'll see what they've got in store for us. But I can guarantee you it's going to be flashy. It's is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
210 with a nice little cheeky boost here. So, you know what? Argentina don't just have tricks on overpass, but they've got some unorthodox stuff here on cash as well. So, nice initiative. Could very well catch a player from Sweden off guard. And I mean, if it's that gets them into the 5 versus 4, then it's most certainly justified.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not very often will you see teams send 2 players over towards Squeaky side. Usually you send one over for some reconnaissance. You send one over for a late lurk to backstab rotators. So Johnny Boy's actually boosted up too.
Style points. That was a solo boost.
Oh yeah, use the Squeaky door.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did they close Squeaky though? That's what I want to know.
We'll find out.
Nice.
Defiand on the boost with the op, giving some cover fire here as Sweden start to work their way slowly but surely up the highway to the A split. That's what they have in mind. And Argentina do still have 2 players committed over towards B. Luckily, they have good positioning, and it pans out. So where do they go from here? Johnny Boy grabbing one as well. The positioning from Argentina, most certainly finding kills. NBL with a 3rd one, but he, of course, is caught off guard. Straka able to trade, and it's Argentina about to find themselves with number 12, bringing them only 1 round away, and a pause comes out. That, of course, should be a tactical pause. But
let's not count this round
I was
down
going to say.
Yet. I mean, there's time.
Say.
He's going to get in here. He's going to get this bomb plant. B is, I mean, even in a 1 versus X situation, it's a difficult site to retake. So the bomb plant goes down. Sweden's going to have a little bit of Molotov is going to flush him out, but there's nobody in position to punish that just yet. He's down in the pit. There's another frag. Finally does go down. Okay, so Johnny Boy is going to be able to find that one. And Argentina will get the round win, but at least making it a little expensive at the end there because they had 4 players alive at the end of that round. They lose 2, and a bomb plant goes the way of Sweden. So they're going to have extra money from the plant and a more detrimental economy on the Argentinian side just based off of losing 3 rifles out of that round. But thinking back to that one, I mean, look at the way that they played the boosts and look at the players who were effective in that round. Johnny Boy gets a kill from his boost. Tootenhen gets a kill from his boost. And not only that, but they also had a player playing from the E-box for highway. So if Johnny gets overwhelmed and they push behind that, he's going to be there for the refrag. Straka was playing close on the Z hallway. He gets the flank out on the highway player on Delpan. They're just coming out of the woodwork, Scrawny.
I mean, it's awesome that both of those positionings we highlight before any of the action happens actually pans out into 2 frags. So
feels good, man.
It feels good, man. Not only for us, but also for Argentina because it's exactly what they had hoped for.
Sometimes we do know what we're talking about. It's rare.
Absolutely.
It's very, very rare. But it does tend to happen from time to time. The money is okay on the Swedish side right now. They can formulate a buy, and that's probably what they're talking about right now. It's not unnecessary that they're not necessarily talking about, are we going to buy? They're talking about what we're going to do after we buy. And, I mean, Argentina, they keep this dynamic defense, and I like that. This is what they were probably talking about with anti-strategy, was they've got an idea as to what Sweden like to do typically on their defaults, what they like to do on their executes. And, I mean, you can see it in that last round, the boost up on top of the shroud spot, the boost up on top of the boxes inside of Squeaky. I mean, when have you ever seen that?
Never.
Exactly.
Literally
that might
never.
be the first time that I've ever seen a CT side boost, because typically speaking, you'll have a terrorist side player that will pop flash and push in there to clear that angle out. You don't have enough time to do that boost. But luckily for them, that wasn't the case. They were able to, they sent 2 players over there. Obviously, they needed to do the boost in the first place with 2 players, but they sent both of those players over there. So if the pop flash comes out, they're going to have the opportunity to A, trade. If it's not there, they can boost. And then they can also leave the door open for Johnny to go for that jump peek up on top of the shroud spot, and they can also close the door behind him. So really nice stuff from Argentina in the last round. I like that setup. Very unconventional.
Unconventional, but it works, and that's what's so beautiful about it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, if Argentina win off of the back of something like that, or if that's just a piece of the puzzle that allows them to win.
Well, could you imagine being on the Swedish side and getting killed from a boost up in the Squeaky room like that?
I'm sure that's the first time that player has ever died like that. I'm not exaggerating. Awesome. That's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah,
at least in that context. Players go up there maybe to save or something along those lines. Yeah, but never as an aggressive or at least counter-terrorist position. So interesting stuff from Argentina, and let's see if they have any other tricks up their sleeve. It's Straka behind, again, these sandbags. Argentina with 2 players inside of mid. It's only 1 man over towards the A site, but again, a formidable purchase from both teams here. This one is neck and neck, as it has been, and as I'm sure it will continue.
I like that. I like that he held that Molotov, or that incendiary grenade at the beginning, just in case maybe they've got a timed strategy that they're doing on the Swedish side, because that Molotov was really, really late towards boost side, and that actually pushed 2 players off of that area. Now, obviously, they've reboosted, and they're pushing another player up on top. That's going to be slapping these Molotovs. Oh, God, Straka. Okay, you're dead.
Dead. Excellent usage of utility there.
Can I get some 1Gs in chat, please?
Argentina with Johnny Boy over here towards the B site.
Another Molotov
for the refrag. Exactly
Johnny,
that.
run!
Fire all around as NBL is still standing at the back of the site. Now he finds only one as Defiand's able to trade frag through the edge of the boxes. It's 3 versus 2 to the favor of Sweden, but they still need to cross in front of Tommy, who unfortunately can't deal any bits of damage. 210 coming in from that flank. It's going to be the double-pronged assault from the side of Argentina.
Yeah, the big thing, though, is the number 4 man, Madig. He's watching Vince. He's going to be the first point of contact here, the first port of call, as they like to say. And Tutanen, he's working his way up. He could just completely ignore the checker sides of things, but they have Zealous in the site watching for the cross. He spotted, does manage to find it. Just comes back around from checkers, and in the meantime, Tommy finds one, and he's found himself onto the site. So he's got a kid, he's got a little bit to work with, and they have no idea. Madig's going to have to take the peek. He's chipped down. Bomb's starting to tick faster and faster. 15 HP. Madig is playing cool, but he does die. Unfortunately, not able to get back on the bomb in time, and Tommy will die after time as well. This might be a save from Argentina because remember how close those previous couple of rounds were. It's going to be very difficult for them to get everything they wanted in this round.
The fact that Tommy actually hits him off that first peak, but he gets back around the corner with just a sliver remaining, just goes to show how not only is this game close because of all these 1v1 situations, but just that one again. So many what-ifs, so many close calls.
They're gonna force.
Argentina looking for the force. They're playing to deny Sweden, form that 15th. AKs across the side for Sweden with a Galil making an appearance, but that allows, of course, for them to pick up those little tidbits of utility. Argentina also struggling when it comes to the nade avenue. Still Thomas, CZs, and a Deagle. They've got one kit.
They made it work with worse.
Exactly.
That's one of the things to take away from this is they have made it work with worse. And one of the big things about this is the heart and soul in Argentina right now. You know, we talk about this time and time again about how they're playing with pride, how they're playing with passion and everything like that. As Madig does find Johnny, that's actually the FAMAS down. But the thing is like they're going for the win. They're going all in on this one. They're not playing for the tie. They're not playing for overtime again. And Defiand might actually get caught out here. I like that. They get out, they get the damage in, fall back. Fall back. They can clean up that kill later. He's only got 15 HP. They should be able to find that. Unfortunately, Tutanen is going to go down immediately afterwards with Zealous, and this round is not looking good for Argentina, so we could potentially see map and series point for Sweden. All said and done, and Adder is going to put the nail in the coffin right there, taking down Straka. It's going to be down to Tommy and NBL. Not a lot that they can do into this one. They don't have a kit. They've only got an ump and a CZ. Might as well go for it. Put your eggs in one basket and see what you can do. And well, one kill comes out of it, NBL.
Sweden, though. They find number 15. They have done it. It's been close all series long. But they find the one that matters. Only one round left away, as you said, for map, match,
series, and a semifinal spot.
Exactly. So much on the line here, but 3 consecutive rounds for Argentina to play with. They have done this before. They've got a Nova here on Johnny, an ump for Tommy, and of course a few nades to play with. So once more, bare bone minimums.
I'm actually curious why Defiand decided that it was smart to buy a Mac 10 into what is potentially the last round.
You have questions? I don't have answers.
Whatevskis. Johnny? Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, there
Rock
we go.
that Nova. Finds the shoddy kill right to Adder's dome ski. Takes him down, and that's going to swing the man advantage for Argentina. So they're down, but they're not out just yet, baby. They've got a man advantage. They've picked up an AK to work with, and they've still got full map control. The bomb is sitting over here outside of the A bomb site, but for now, it's going to be very difficult for these guys to get in. There you go. There's the boost up again. They use the squeaky door. They close it again, and that's going to put Johnny Boy up on top. And he just got a kill from over in squeaky room. They're not going to be expecting this, especially when they had a line of sight over.
Exactly. Super good point, Mega Man. 210 still nearby on the site. Yeah. Johnny Boy again with this positioning. This is going to be a potential deciding factor. Slap inside of mid, looking to make some presence, but Johnny now reveals his position. At least he finds at least one, but it is cleared from Defiand. The trade frag to the favor of Sweden, but the man advantage to the favor of Argentina. And another Straka with the Huandig. It's going to be just Slap and Zelos left standing, and both players now incredibly damaged. Tommy finds one, Slap finds the refrag, and in addition to the X, it's 30 seconds left with the bomb down in the sights of Tommy. Both players for Argentina tagged.
Both of them so low. I mean, 38 combined HP. One's only on a CZ. Tommy's got head armor and an AK, but this is going to be so difficult. They spot him out. He's going to bide this time, play this one very correctly. He does allow him to pick up the bomb, and now he can start to move up. And this should be Tommy's kill. It is. Argentina.
Another one.
The grit. the grit, the grime, and the shotgun slime. There it is. Johnny Boy finding one onto Adder. Feeling a little stressed, feeling a little bit of pressure, but hey, man, they're getting some rounds still. And, you know, even staring down the eyes of defeat right now, they keep on plugging away. And I have nothing but respect for these guys from the Argentinian squad.
I mean, I'm stressed and I'm not even playing.
I mean, I've got a lot of respect for these guys from Sweden, too. This has been one hell of a series. I don't want to make it sound one-sided here, because both teams have been playing their hearts out. Mirage was a little bit more of a one-sided affair, but that you can obviously, Sweden has the experience on that one. And Argentina fell a little bit flat, but this time around, I mean, it's a save from Sweden, so it's going to go the full 30. I mean, they've got a Glock, so 2 Glocks, 2 Deagles, and a P250, armor on Adder. And yes, you're right. It should go the full 30.
At this point, I don't even know what's going to happen. So we're just going to have to wait and see. At least we know, of course, Argentina do still have 3 players over towards the B site, where Sweden have their entire forces. Still, they do have the information inside of A main, so now with this time ticking down ever slowly, they're going to start rotating out. Johnny's able to find the 1 kill towards towards Highway, and there's Straka with another 3 players left, but at least Adder's able to answer, and BL, though, finds the last 2, and it is round number 30 in the 3rd map of this series. Argentina so pumped and ready to take it the distance.
Oh my god, I mean, we had overtime on map number 1. Map number 2 is over in 21 rounds, but this time it's going the distance once again. Belgrade, let me hear you guys. We are looking for another 30-round matchup. There's still fire in the audience. Let's get hyped, because we are going the distance once again, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an absolute pleasure to cast this best of 3. Neither of these teams want to relent. It is absolutely sensational watching them face off. But Famas still on the board for the CT side in the hands of NBL. 5 kits, no risks, 4 incendiary grenades on the board, as well as 3 smokes and a handful of flashes. On the opposing side, not a lot of utility. I mean, they've got 4 AKs and a Galil, but Zealous is really the only one that's packing any heat along with Adder.
So slow, both teams, again, not wanting to give up any footing here. They know what only 1 frag could mean in this situation. Both teams struggling valiantly for an advantage, but nobody finding anything early on. We're at the 1-minute mark, and slowly Sweden have worked their way around the map. They're waiting for the squeaky push, but nothing's to be found. Slap as well over here towards B main has taken a bit of an initiative, but not looking to overstay that push. Still, however, Sweden now working their way from mid.
They're actually leading with the bomb out through the middle right now. Molotov's coming out. 2 players by Catbox. They got to be careful. They can't overextend here, and they're going to find the positive trade. 2 for 1. Delpan goes down along with Madig, and they only found Johnny Boy, which is a big find, as he is a very solid player for him. But Slap over towards B, finds Tommy down to a 3 versus 3. It's going to have to be a hero play from Straka. He's all by himself on the site. They're going to be spamming around. He's going to be able to find the first one, finds the second one as well. It's all going to come down to Zealous in a 1 versus 3. And Straka playing this one so smart, almost finishing it off. Takes down Zealous down to 58 HP, and it's going to come down to the 1 versus 2. We've seen him do it before, so don't count Sweden out just yet.
Argentina know they have to give him respect here. Zelos obviously looking to create the situation, but NPL is so lucky. He's looking the other way. And Argentina, you have done it. You deserve to cheer. You deserve to pump those arms, because by God, what a show you put on. And it's only going to get better as we head into overtime. Argentina being the victors in the overpass overtime, looking to replicate that exact same scoreline. And Sweden have their back against the ropes.
Johnny Boy is so fired up. And the big part about this, too, is think about these headshots. This was, I mean, he had to hit those shots. If Straka fails there, and not only that, but look at how much time he buys for the rotation by getting around the default and getting down in front of the site and playing this really goofy angle that Zealous has to clear out before he can even think about planting a bomb. Back into the MR3 overtime, $10,000. Holy Jesus.
I've got the heebie-jeebies.
I'm sure that everybody who's still in the stadium right now is appreciating the fact that they hung out for as long as they did, because they are getting a spectacular show right now.
NBL spraying away in towards mid. Not going to be finding anything straight out the gates. Of course, it's Sweden still on that T side, and they've taken themselves in towards A main. They've got Delpan with the op trained on the opening, Adder nearby to react to anything accordingly, and they're just looking right now for pushes on both sides, right? Delpan again with the crosshair placement, and then over towards B, just waiting for the push. But Argentina know better, and they're not looking to get that overconfident with their plays. Instead, they use their utility, try to deal out some initial damage, just try to keep Sweden as well back and elicit a response. But nothing for either team has been found as of yet.
Yeah, and unfortunately those nades don't find as much damage as they necessarily wanted. Adder was hiding behind the box. They didn't quite go deep enough for them to find that. If they would have peeked out a little wider, they might have gotten picked off by Defiand, so I can understand the trepidation. Both teams, I mean, they're on a knife's edge. So many of these rounds were so close, back and forth throughout the duration of this first and second half, that it's incredible that we even got to this point. But 30 rounds behind us, first round of overtime number 1 on map number 3. This is the second map that's hit overtime between these two teams, and this has just been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure across the board. The heart and soul for both of these teams, and it's going to be NBL to open things up. Drops the bomb carrier. Tootinen's going to go time number 1 as well. Finds a second one as Straka drops, and there it is. Tommy finds a third, and that's going to leave it all on Madig. In the 1 versus 4 situation, the smoke's all encompassing, and that's going to allow a player to fall back towards the truck side. I believe that's NBL. Yes, it is. It's going to get taken down. Madig with back-to-back frags, but another round on the board for Argentina. They refuse to give up.
This means so much to them. They can't, because they know that it's not just them they have to prove for here, but their entire country back home. These guys get so much support from their homeland, and exactly that. This is a big day, not just for these 5 players, but the entire country of Argentina, and so they wait to see if they can bring it. But Sweden's in the exact same boat. They've got boys back home rooting them on, and here as well. Still, however, Sweden, lucky enough, they come into this to buy, but if they lose number 2, we mentioned this on Overpass, that's when the economy becomes a bit of an issue, but it's Johnny Boy again with another one, and now he closes the door. They've been doing this. This is the counter strat. 210 able to find 2 more. He's cleaning up shop as Zelos does trade back. It's 2 versus 4, but NBL chiming in with a frag. Zelos left standing in a 1v4 here. This is not looking great for Sweden.
That was so smart from Johnny Boy. His teammate was close enough on A main that he hears the footsteps of them starting to push in, tells him not to come out squeaky. He goes back in, he stays alive. The dunk nades are coming out, and they are going to finish it off. NBL with the final 2 kills of the round. They are so fired up. They could scupper this half and take the 3-0 and have a potential 3 match points going into their T side, which is the half that they won. This is a tremendous resurgence from Argentina right now. I don't want to sound like I'm being biased or anything, because Sweden has obviously played extremely well to make their way into this one, but my God, the resilience in Argentina.
The fact is, we expect Sweden to win this game.
Yeah, they were easily the favorites going into
exactly.
this.
That's why that's why it's so easy to highlight what Argentina are doing, because it's almost so unbelievable.
It's a Cinderella story.
Exactly.
It's like seeing a number 13 seed in the NCAA tournament make it through. For you Americans out there that are listening that know what I'm talking about, nobody else does.
Nope. Triple AK, Galil, Deagle. Sweden clearly with that limitation. We mentioned it, of course, the nades as well, not in the greatest of spots, but yeah. Argentina, on the other hand, are in a nice position. They're going to be taking some initial damage, and they have lost map control, so Sweden most certainly are poised and potentially prepared.
Tommy.
What about him?
Insurance policy at B. He's behind the back checker boxes.
Ooh, good call.
They don't have a Molotov to flush him out, so that's the biggest part about this. So if they do opt to go towards B, they have to hit the shots. But look at this. I mean, the aggression coming out. Oh, Slap. Poor Slap. Poor Slap. He heard the footsteps of the closer player, decides to take the peek, and NBL is just watching that. Now here's that back checker play. Find one, looking for another one outside of the site, and he's going to be able to get it. Adder and Delpan both hit the deck. Zealous does manage to find NBL, but that's going to leave it in a 1 versus 4. A lot of damage being done from Tootin. That's going to leave him on 34 HP. He's got to clutch it to keep off of being put to the backside of match point. Argentina, 30 seconds left. Bomb is on his back. He's going to work his way around. Making things out a little bit here, but 3 versus 1 in Johnny Boy. Oh, Johnny, be good. Oh, Johnny, please, for the love of God,
be good.
Be good. Dude, gonna come around the side, not able to clean it up, so it's still going, and Zelos finds Johnny Boy. It could be the ace clutch 1v5. 7 seconds on the clock. He is gonna get the bomb plant, and Tommy coming around the side. He's got to hit the headshot from Zealous. He's got to hit the headshot on Tommy. He's not gonna have an opportunity for a spray fight here. This could be a ridiculous clutch. I'm just letting it play out.
Same.
Oh, the timing just not on his side.
Look at that.
There you go. The Argentinian fans in the crowd
this is the passion. It's not just a Cinderella story. It's not exaggeration. If you have had the chance, like the people here at this event, to talk to this team, this means the world to not only them, but quite clearly their fans. Again, it can't be repeated. It's just sheer emotion, and it's amazing to watch. And Argentina, they know. Look at this. They're still cool. They're still collected. They've put themselves in a great opportunity. Sweden still have a chance, and you can't rule them out. You remember who we're speaking of.
Look at this play here.
It's so sick.
Zealous. I mean, he did everything that he could into that round. Everything that he could possibly do into that. We do have a technical pause coming out, but that gives us an opportunity to talk about this because we're going into the second half. And remember, if Argentina, they're on match point.
Sweden are not playing for the win. Sweden are playing for the double overtime.
Yeah, it hasn't ticked over. The round win total hasn't ticked over. They're on 18-15 right now. Obviously, they won all 3 of those rounds, but 19 being the magic number, and this puts Argentina in. This puts them in a fantastic position. I mean, they were solid on their terrorist side going through the first half. They won the half 8-7. It took a while for them to get going, though, and that's the biggest part about this is there still wind in the sails for Sweden? Do they still have another gear that they can go for and bring it back to force double overtime? Because they have to save 3 match points here. And remember, it was Sweden that had 3 match points that Argentina was able to battle back from. So this is a big swing.
Exactly.
A massive swing. So this has been 6 rounds in a row for Argentina right now. So they're, I mean, just coming back from I'm running out of stuff to say. I don't even know.
There's nothing
so
to say.
ridiculous.
We can just wait and watch.
It's so ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But here we go. You can hear it's going live in the background. So that's the sound of possibly the end of the line for Sweden. And what a battle it has been between these two teams. Let's make some noise, Belgrade. We're going into the final, potentially the final round of the matchup.
For the amount of people left in this room, of course, it being 11 p.m.
baby.
local time, these guys have the heart, and that's why they're still here. Thank you for everybody. And thank you, of course, to Sweden and Argentina for putting on this game.
What a beautiful match of Counter-Strike. And it's a fast strat into the bomb site. Let's go ahead and pick it up. See who's going to be able to find the opening pick. They do have members over here. Slap actually spotting a player. There's 2 of them stuck behind the smoke. No frags coming out just yet, but it's Zealous and Manning to find the openers. And there it is, Zealous. He was the 9, almost the hero, and that's a fast round for Sweden. So 2 more match points to save. All that Argentina needs is 1 round.
Yep. But let that one serve as a reminder, Sweden is still in it, most certainly. And that's got to be a hit to Argentina, as they're just completely crumbled on that site. So much presence from Sweden. 4 players on that A site. It's almost as if they expect the push from Argentina, and unfortunately that's exactly what happens. To Argentina's demise. Sweden, however, feeling hot and heavy after that one. Defiand on his trusty AWP. We've seen him do fantastic shots all day long, and he's going to be looking for more here in the 5th round of the Berth overtime.
Johnny Boy going to get it boosted up here in mid. Only Adder over by Catbox to deal with. Usually they had a little bit more of a mid presence here from the Swedish side, but not this time around. If they go for mid execution, they could potentially isolate that player on highway, or at least get mid for free, and from there they can decide whether or not they want to split mid A, or if they want to split mid B. Try to filter those players back. If they push the player off towards the A bomb site, then a mid B split is going to be a little bit more viable. But there's the flashbang, there's the mid control, and Adder is over here. The Molotov down to the underside of Vents. That's going to get extinguished. No! Oh, it took a second there. That bounce. Underhand, my friend. Underhand.
Yeah, there's a right click. You should use it. Johnny still up here towards highway. Nice little bit of team flashing. Again, just using themselves to push forward. But as you just pointed out, slap inside A main. Yep. This is going to be difficult for Argentina to clear on out. But still now they're going to have to be buying more time because the smoke grenade keeps them at bay. Defiand, he has no clue. But Johnny definitely heard that. You're right.
Yep, and he's still too. There
That's what they need.
Takes him down. Johnny not even going for the AWP right now. He's going to hang on to the AK because they want mobility. They want to be able to get into these bomb sites with vim and vigor. And you can see there's the Molotov. That's what they were missing before. There's the peek out. Tommy's going to be able to find it. It's a 2-man advantage, but Mating, he's over here at the backside of this B bomb site. There's another player as well, Adder. They don't have a smoke down on CT. Mating is able to find another, but it's going to go the way of Argentina right now. It's a 3 versus 1. The flank comes out. They know where he's at. One player in heaven trying to lock this one down, trying to get it done, and Argentina are going to take it. They make it into the semifinals. It's another overtime thriller. 2-1 series going the way of Argentina.
Appreciate this moment. Not only us here at the stadium, but Argentina back home. Appreciate this moment. Johnny Boy and his Argentinian squad prevailing.
Absolutely incredible play from the Argentinians the entire duration of that. Let's give a big round of applause to Sweden, ladies and gentlemen. They played with heart and soul as well, all the way to the very end. What an incredible series we just witnessed between these two teams. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Incredible.
And immediately they go for the handshake. They don't wait.
Respect.
Sportsmanship.
Absolute respect of the utmost kind. And like I said, I mean, Argentina, they're my dark horse team. And once again, they proved that they can play these close matches time and time again. And Sweden, they just didn't have enough in the tank in the long run. Argentina coming out on top. 2-1 in the series, 19-17 on the first map. 16-5 on the second map. And then 19-17 on the third map, saving 3 match points to get themselves there.
It's an incredible journey.
Absolutely incredible. But don't take our word for it. I believe we're going to send things back over to Tom and the boys at the analyst desk before we get into an interview here. I think they're probably going to talk to Johnny Boy at one point or another.